If you've ever felt like a woman suddenly lost interest for no reason, believe me, it didn't happen by chance. The truth is, most men make mistakes that kill attraction without even realizing it. And the worst part? Many keep repeating these mistakes without knowing why they're being ignored. But today, I'm going to show you the 10 fatal mistakes that push women away, and more importantly, how to fix each one. Stay with me until the end because mistake number 7 is the one that ruins your chances before you even realize it. Mistake number 1, being needy and emotionally dependent. Do you ever feel like you're constantly chasing her while she seems more and more distant? That happens because women are naturally attracted to men who have confidence and independence. When you rely on her approval to feel good about yourself, it doesn't come off as romantic. It feels suffocating. No one wants to carry someone else's emotional burden, especially at the beginning of a relationship. Think of a guy who cancels plans, changes his entire routine, and is always available for a woman who barely shows interest. He thinks he's being attentive, but in reality, he's becoming predictable and boring. Now, imagine a man who has his own routine, hobbies, and an interesting life on his own. He gives off a completely different energy, and that's irresistible. When you put your happiness in her hands, the message you send is, "My life only has meaning if you notice me." And for any woman, that's a huge turnoff. The solution? Develop your emotional independence. Set your own goals. Engage in activities that motivate you and build a life that makes you happy, with or without her. Finding the balance between showing interest and not seeming desperate makes all the difference. Now tell me, have you ever felt like you were giving too much of yourself? Drop a comment here. Mistake number 2, texting all the time and not creating scarcity. Technology has made communication easier, but it's also caused many men to sabotage their chances without realizing it. If you're constantly texting, replying immediately, and always trying to start a conversation, the interaction loses its value. Women don't want a guy who seems desperate for attention. They want someone with an interesting life outside of their phone. The problem isn't texting. It's not giving her space to miss you. Think about a TV series you love. What makes you want to watch the next episode? The suspense, the anticipation, right? If the story gave everything away at once, without any mystery, it would get boring. The same goes for attraction. If you're always available without creating any curiosity, there's no excitement. Now, imagine she texts you, but you take a little while to respond because you're busy with something important. Suddenly, your attention becomes valuable. She realizes you're not just sitting around waiting for her, and that sparks curiosity. So how do you fix this? Simple. Control the pace of the interaction. If she takes a while to respond, don't rush to send another message. If you're always the one initiating, slow down and see if she starts to take the lead. When a man learns to balance presence and scarcity, he stops being just another guy and becomes a challenge. Mistake number 3, not creating tension and mystery attraction doesn't come from the obvious. It comes from emotion and mystery. When a man reveals everything about himself right away, leaving no room for curiosity, he loses his charm. The human brain loves the unknown, and in the game of attraction, this is even more powerful. If a woman feels like she already knows exactly how you think, act, and react, what's her motivation to keep engaging? Many guys believe they need to be completely transparent to win a woman over, but they forget that tension is essential. Think of a movie where you already know the ending in the first scene. Would you still feel excited to watch? The same happens when you give everything away too soon. Small moments of mystery make her want to know more about you. This can be as simple as not revealing all your plans immediately or carrying yourself with quiet confidence without feeling the need to explain everything. Creating tension doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means making her feel like there's more to discover. Be naturally unpredictable, give unexpected responses, and make her wonder what's coming next. The key is finding the right balance between closeness and distance, allowing her to enjoy the thrill of discovery. Because where there's curiosity, there's attraction. Mistake number 4, trying to win her over with gifts and favors. Many men believe that winning a woman over means impressing her with expensive gifts or doing everything for her. The problem is, when you try too hard to please her without reciprocity, she may start seeing you more as a provider than as an attractive man. And that can make her interest fade fast. What makes a man truly valued isn't what he can offer materially, but his presence, confidence, and personality. Think about it. When someone gets something without putting in any effort, they usually don't appreciate it as much, right? If she sees that you're always willing to do everything for her without a real emotional connection, it loses its impact. A thoughtful gesture here and there is nice, but if the relationship revolves around you giving and never receiving, the balance disappears, and with it, so does attraction. The solution? Shift your focus. Instead of trying to win her over with material things or favors, invest in your own personal growth. Have hobbies, set goals, and build a life that makes sense to you. Women are naturally drawn to men who know their own worth, and that worth doesn't come from your wallet, but from your mindset and the way you carry yourself in a relationship. Mistake number 5, not knowing how to lead and make decisions. Indecisiveness is a major attraction killer. When a man constantly hesitates, avoids making decisions, or shifts that responsibility onto the woman, he comes across as weak. This doesn't mean being bossy, it means showing confidence and certainty in your choices. Women are more attracted to men who know what they want and take the lead naturally, especially in simple situations, like choosing a restaurant or making weekend plans. Think about the difference between these two scenarios. One guy asks, "What do you want to do?" Or "Where do you want to go?" Another guy says, "Let's go to this restaurant. The food there is amazing." The first guy might think he's being polite, but he actually comes across as someone who lacks initiative. The second guy, however, projects confidence and makes things easier for her. The truth is, most women don't want to be the ones making every decision. They want someone who naturally takes the lead. If you notice that you always avoid making decisions, start small. Pick a movie, suggest a place to go, take the lead in conversations. Small actions like these show that you trust yourself and that you're capable of leading when necessary. Men who know what they want and act with confidence stand out because they give off the vibe of someone who's in control of their own life, and that is extremely attractive. Mistake number 6, confessing your feelings. Too soon. Expressing feelings isn't a problem, but doing it too soon can ruin everything. When a man confesses his emotions early on, before a genuine connection has been built, he comes across as impulsive or even needy. Attraction isn't just about sweet words, it comes from the experiences you share. Rushing this process can make her question the authenticity of what you're saying. Now, imagine that after just 2 or 3 dates, you say, "I'm in love with you," or "I've never met anyone like you before." Instead of being romantic, this might scare her or make her doubt your sincerity. Her interest needs to grow naturally, based on real moments, not premature declarations. When a guy shows too much enthusiasm without a solid foundation, he may come across as desperate, and that works against him. The key is to let feelings develop at the right pace. Focus on creating meaningful moments and allow emotions to grow naturally. Instead of saying it outright, show it through consistent actions and confidence in building the relationship. When you give attraction time to develop organically, feelings become much stronger and, best of all, mutual. Mistake number 7, talking too much and not knowing how to listen. Conversations are essential for building connection, but many men make the mistake of turning them into monologues about themselves. The intention might be good, trying to impress her with interesting stories or showcasing achievements, but without balance, the effect can be the opposite of what they expect. The secret to communication isn't just in what you say, but in your ability to listen and genuinely care about what she shares. Now, imagine a date where the guy spends the entire time talking about his job, his projects, and even his frustrations, without asking anything about her. She might smile politely, but internally, she's already disconnecting from the conversation. Now, compare that to a man who asks engaging questions, listens attentively, and genuinely shows interest in what she says. This kind of exchange creates a much stronger emotional bond than any display of status or achievements. Being a good listener doesn't just mean staying quiet while she talks. Truly engage. Ask follow-up questions that deepen the conversation and show that you're paying attention. Small details you notice and remember later make all the difference. When a woman feels that her words are valued, she automatically associates that connection with you, and that puts you ahead of the majority. Before we move on to the next mistake, listen to this message. There's a method that people are calling foolproof, and everyone who has tried it swears by it. It doesn't matter if you think you don't stand a chance or if you've tried everything before. This method is designed to work in any situation and for any man. It's simple, straightforward, and incredibly effective at attracting the woman you want. Do you want to learn how it works? Trust me, this is the solution you've been waiting for. You no longer have to rely on luck or generic advice that never really helps. The path to changing your love life is closer than you think. Just check out the pinned comment and see how this method can work for you. Mistake number 8, not creating a challenge. Being too easy. Attraction doesn't come from complete comfort. It comes from the thrill of pursuit. When a man becomes too predictable and gives everything away without making her put in any effort, her interest can fade quickly. The game of attraction requires a balance between closeness and mystery. If she feels like she already has you locked in, the motivation to invest in the relationship decreases. Think about a game where you know you'll win without any challenge. It quickly becomes boring, right? The same thing happens when a man poses no challenge at all. If she realizes that everything she does is met with unconditional enthusiasm without having to put in any effort to maintain the connection, that interaction loses value. Women are more attracted to men who have options and who aren't desperate to please them. Creating a challenge doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It means maintaining healthy independence. Have an interesting life, set boundaries, and don't always be available. Make sure that her presence in your life is a mutual choice, not a favor you're begging for. When there's a balance between interest and mystery, the interaction becomes much more engaging and exciting for both of you. Mistake number 9, ignoring her signs of interest. A lot of men miss out on great opportunities simply because they don't recognize when a woman is interested. Female flirting is often more subtle, and if you're not paying attention, you might mistake signs of attraction for simple friendliness. The problem? When you don't pick up on these signals, you might hesitate, or worse, unintentionally signal disinterest. And when that happens, she may just give up before anything even starts. Small gestures say a lot. Prolonged eye contact, frequent smiles, subtle touches on your arm during conversation, or even asking personal questions about your life. If she's looking for ways to extend the interaction, responds quickly to your messages, or shows curiosity about what you do, there's a strong chance she's giving you an opening. But many men wait for an obvious signal when, in reality, she's already been showing interest for a while. The solution? Pay closer attention to body language and how she behaves around you. If you notice signs of interest, respond appropriately without overdoing it. The key is to act at the right moment, without hesitation or overanalyzing. Many connections are lost not because attraction wasn't there, but because the man simply didn't realize he had a green light. Mistake number 10. Being predictable and boring routine can be comfortable, but when it comes to attraction, too much predictability kills interest. If every interaction follows the same pattern, with no novelty or excitement, the connection loses its intensity. Women are attracted to experiences, to moments that stir emotion. If you don't bring anything new or interesting to the table, you end up becoming just another guy in the crowd. Now, think about a guy who always asks the same questions, tells the same stories, and reacts the same way to everything. At first, he might seem reliable, but over time, he becomes dull. An engaging man doesn't need to be over the top, but he knows how to keep interactions stimulating. Small, unexpected gestures, deep conversations about unusual topics, or simply changing up the dynamic can make all the difference. The key here is to be spontaneous. Get out of autopilot mode and be open to new experiences, both in casual interactions and serious relationships. Positive surprises make her feel more involved and connected to you. Creating unexpected moments and breaking the routine not only makes you more interesting, but also strengthens the relationship in a natural and captivating way. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And don't leave yet! The next video is already on the screen, so click now and keep learning. I'll see you there.